Hello students, our next topic is develop system menus and navigation schemes. So whenever you consider a system may be a laptop or a mobile phone or your PC or your tablet, anything it may be, a system usually contains lots of information. And also the system performs a variety of tasks or functions you can say. Uh, Now your system has to provide certain means to tell that people that it has certain information or it possesses the information or it can do certain things. But how a system can tell you that it can show a certain information or it can do certain things? This particular task is being actually accomplished by displaying the list of choices or alternatives to the user. So this listing of choices are actually called as menus. So we all know, we have all used menus. Okay, so it is actually listing of choices. So menus are major form of navigation through the system, and if it is properly designed, it will assist the user in developing the mental model of the system. Or you can say that mental model in the sense, you can say that it can be the system can, or the menus will help the user to understand the system in a very better manner. So here let us see the overview of this particular chapter, what and all you're going to study in this chapter. First of all, you'll be learning about the structures of the menus. So you may have hierarchical structure, or you can have different kinds of structure. Okay, so that you will be studying in this particular topic. And then you have functions of menus. What are the functions that menu it is going to provide, and contents of the menus, formatting menus, writing menus, navigation using menus, and website navigations, links, elements, maintaining a sense of place, and also types of menus. So these are the topics we are going to cover in this chapter. So let us see that how a menu looks. Now let us understand why you are going to use the menus. What is the need of menus? So while working with menus, generally the people need not remember the words or what task he has to perform. Okay, everything will be shown on the screen and he can easily use it. Is it? So menus reminds people of available options and the information that may not be aware for the people, or if they have forgotten certain tasks, okay, that also will be shown on the screen. That means in the menus. Okay, so these menus generally will be helpful for both the experienced users or the new users, or you can say the inexperienced users as well. So let us understand how it will be helpful for the new users. New and inexperienced system users might find uh, learning the last system very difficult. So that means the menu information must be actually remembered, and it will be actually integrated across many of the series of screens. So for the inexperienced users, first of all, when initially when they start using the menus, okay, they may find it difficult, but later on they will cope up and they will grasp the ideas very quickly and they will learn how to use the menus. But in case of experienced users, let us take how the menus will be helpful for the experienced users. Initially, when the system is being used, the experienced users will start learning and they will be very faster in accessing the information from the menus. And later on, as the time goes, usually for the experienced user, they may feel that it is a tedious task to actually go through the menus, and it may be time consuming uh, for going through the menus and getting the informations. Okay, so when you are designing actually the menu systems, you must consider conflicting the needs of both inexperienced and experienced users. Okay, that means you have to keep in mind that when the menus are being designed, you have to keep in the mind that it should not be time consuming for the experienced users, okay, while accessing the menus. Or you can say it should not be difficult for the normal new users or inexperienced system users also. Okay, so uh, you have to keep in that mind. And next is the graphical and web systems are actually menu oriented. If you compare the normal user interfaces, what you see on the mobiles or any websites, if you are seeing, or any device, if you are seeing the how the user interface is, all are maybe menu oriented nowadays. Okay, so these menus are actually used in every graphical systems, or you can say websites also, they are nowadays they are using it. So let us see what kind of menus we have nowadays. Okay, menus are, you can say that it's kind of pop-up menus we have. Is it how pop-up menu you can say? See here. Uh, so whenever you use the maybe the screen of Windows, if you see, you may find pop-up menus that is coming out from the screen. Okay, so that is called pop-up menus. This is an example here you have. Okay, this kind of menus, okay, that will be shown in this manner. It's called pop-up menus. And then you have menu bars. You might have seen menu bars also. And uh, pull down menus also you have. See how a pull down menu is there. See, you have a menu bar here, and then you have a pull down menu. Okay, so this is an example of pull down menu. And cascading style of menus also you have. Cascading means, see, the first menu you have here. Okay, so when you click on one of the option or choice here, the next menu will be displayed. So that's called cascading menus. So let us understand some other menus here. Few more examples you have. So you might have gone through tear off menus also. So you see the example here, how a tear off menu is displayed. See, first initially you have a menu, the actual menu, and then next option you have here, that is one more menu is being displayed with certain dashed line points like this. See here, if you see here, you can see that it is dotted like structure. Okay, so this is called actually the tear off menu. Tear off menus will be having some dotted like structure like this. Okay, so that you can move it, this particular menu can be moved to other place. Okay, so that's the use of tear off menus. And next you have iconic menus. So you might have seen iconic menus. So iconic menus, when you are using, generally it will display certain graphics to show the icon. Okay, so this is kind of menu. Okay, so in Gmail or any kind of system, you may have seen this kind of menu. Okay, iconic menu we say, that's with the certain figures or diagrams you can see. Okay, see how YouTube means like this, I like this structure it will show. Okay, so this is an icon. So this is called iconic menu. Here is an example of a menu. Say one person had created a blog which is showing actually the architecture of the buildings. Okay, so he has created, this is an example. Okay, so here he has created his own menu list. So in the menu he had added architecture, interior, furniture, product store. So architecture means when the user clicks on this architecture, uh, there will be a one more page that is being displayed on the screen. Okay, about it, that shows about architecture. And when if if we clicks on this interior, all different types of interiors, maybe for dining hall or the living room. So like this, different interiors will be shown. So this is how menu is being used in blocks. Okay, so you can create your own menu list, and if you have the knowledge of how a menu can be designed, okay, you can easily design it. So in this chapter we talk about graphical and web system menus. Let us see that. First topic, you have structure of menus. Menus vary in the form of very simple menus, and also you may have very complex menu. Okay, so they may range from small dialog boxes. Okay, those dialog boxes may be requesting the user to give certain inputs, or it can be in the form of hierarchical tree-like structure. Okay, so that is also very complex menus, you can say. So here in your particular chapter we have certain structures of menus. So first one, you have single menus. In detail let us see that again. Single menus, sequential linear menus, simultaneous menus, hierarchical menus, connected menus, and event trapping menus. So let us go to this particular topic, that is single menus. So first one, you have single menus. It is one of the simplest kind of menu you have, and actually if you see a single menu, so if you are using a device, okay, single screen or window is actually presented to the user to seek certain input, or it may ask for certain action to be performed. Okay, so for example, if you are using your mobile, okay, say you are playing a game and you are presented there to choose one of the option. Okay, maybe you say here choice one may be like new player or intermediate player, and then you may have expert player, like this. Okay, three options it may give, and you may choose one out of it. So this is how you may be presented with single menu there. Okay, so the user here actually he has to consider certain immediate consequences of the item that has to be chosen, and he need not be concerned with any other additional system menus. So here when a single menu is being presented to the screen, on the screen, usually the user has to perform one of the task, and he will be shown only one menu. Okay, no additional system menus will be shown to the user. Okay, at a time the single screen, or in the single screen you will be presented with only one single kind of menu list, like this. Okay, so but if you consider this kind of single menus may be iterative. Okay, iterative in the sense it will at least ask the user to enter at least one data. Okay, maybe you have to choose at least one, or again it will show the same single menu itself. If you don't choose anything in the single menu, it will again pop up and it will show the same page. Okay, so now what you have to do, or else if you have by mistake something, if you have clicked somewhere, and then what happens, it will may ask for the, it may do certain validity checking, and suppose by mistake you enter something else, maybe the choice one is being asked there to enter certain data, and if it is not proper, so validity, you can say validity check will happen at the other end of the system. So that time what happens, you may be asked to re-enter the information again. Okay, so this is called iterative form of single menus. That means again and again that same menu list or the same single menu will be shown to the user, if he does not enter the data, or if he by mistake he enters something else on the screen, then also again the same menu will be popped up on the screen. So he has to do right choice while choosing the options over there. Okay, so this is a simple menu. So remember that only one, so if you consider this as a full screen of the device, any device it may be, so the menu will be consisting of many choices. Okay, you cannot say here it may be only three, it may be, there may be number of choices also, and user has to choose one of the choice out of it. Next kind of menu, you have sequential linear menus. Sequential linear menus are presented in this manner. Sequential linear menus are presented on series of screens possessing only one path. So that means there will be certain path existing between the menus. So it's placed one over the other, but there is a path here existing between one menu and the other menu. The menu screens are presented in order, and it will be asking for certain information to be entered or certain data to be entered on the particular menu list. So here when you are saying the sequential linear menus, it will have, it may be short or long. Short in the sense, if you have only 2 or 3 menus, maybe I say here menu 1, menu 2, menu 3, you can say it as a short menu. So suppose your menu list increases, maybe you say you have created menu 1, menu 2, menu 3, menu 4, menu 5, menu 6. Okay, so there is a long path existing. So that happens in usually in linear menus, that is sequential linear menus. Okay, you can have either short or long paths. Sequential path menus still has certain disadvantages. So what may be the disadvantage in this case? So suppose you say here initially menu 3 is being displayed. Okay, after that you have chosen certain data and you have entered to menu 2, and after that you have entered the data in menu 2 and you went for the menu 1 is being displayed. So now what happens, suppose you think that whatever the entered data, maybe in menu 3 whatever you have entered the data, that is wrong. So now the task becomes difficult. You have to go back to that particular page again, that is again to the menu 3 you have to go back and have to again re-enter the data. So this is quite a tedious task, you can say, going back to the same previous menus and changing the data. That is one of the problem in case of sequential linear menus. So remember this, there is one disadvantage in this case, in the case of sequential linear menus, or else you can use it. So if the path is very short, you can say that it will be very helpful for the users, but if the path is long, then there may be a lot of disadvantages in this case. Next kind of menu we have, that is simultaneous menus. So see here you have got a example for simultaneous menu. You have got alternative 1 with certain menu here. See, you have alternative 2, alternative 3 with certain choices here. Again, alternative 4 is with certain choices. So, what is the difference between the previous one and this kind? You can understand by seeing itself. So, instead of presenting the particular menus on different screens or separate screens, you have an advantage here is you can display all the menu lists at a time on the single screen. Is it? So if you have an option here to choose one of the maybe I say here, for example, alternative, in alternative 1 you have chosen 1, okay, and next you have alternative 2 you have chosen 3, and again if suppose you want to change the option that was already entered in alternative 1, you can do it very easily. So but that was not the case in case of the previous sequential linear menus. There you have to go back to the previous menus, and then you have to re-enter the data. But here you can see that the single on the single screen you have displayed the 4 menu list, so you can easily re-enter the data whenever you wish. Okay, suppose if you find any answers you have chosen in this menu list is wrong, then you can re-enter it and you can go further. So this is one of the main changes you have. Okay, and uh, so here there are advantages as well as disadvantages. So what is the disadvantage is, see on the screen, one particular screen you will be having limited space. Okay, so whenever you may be a small device you have to display this particular menu list, consider a mobile. So if you have lot of menu list, what happens, it may be not visible to the users. It may be, you can say that here the menu list will be all cluttered on the single screen. So that is one of the disadvantage of this case, that is simultaneous menus. Or else it is very helpful for the any kind of normal users. Okay, and here sometimes for the new users this kind of menu listing may be confusing. Okay, so if they are not very well understood about how to use this particular menu list, they may find it a bit difficult to use, or else it is one of the good option. So if your screen is very large, you can go for this kind of menu list. Next kind of menus, you have hierarchical menus. So if there are existing relationship between the menus, I say here there is an existing relationship between the menus, then you can go for hierarchical menus. This is the best choice if there are existing relationship between the menus. How you can say, for example, you see a menu that is displayed on the desktop. Okay, so you have got products here, one of the menu list you have got products, and under products you have certain choices are smartphones, laptops, tablets, software, ebooks, IT services, membership. So this is the choices you have here. Okay, again suppose if you click on laptops, okay, it will display the other menu list. What are the menu list you have again? Apple iPad, Apple MacBook, Dell, HP, Dell XP, like this. Okay, some that is laptops and tablets. It's showing different choices again. So this is how. So there is a relationship. We can say that here there is a relationship between the previous menu and the next menu, what menu list, whatever you have displayed. Okay, so this is one point. Similarly, you can see that the in the mobiles how the hierarchical menus are being displayed. See, again the same kind of option you have. See that home, products, smartphones, laptops and tablets, and again software, ebooks, IT services. So when you click on laptops and tablets, again it has got a menu list in this manner. Okay. So this is there is an existing, you can say that there is an existing relationship between the choice levels. Okay, or you say options, you have certain options, the main options you can say, then there is a sub option. or you may have sections there, and you may have subsections like this. Okay, or you can say it is a sub menu, you can say. Is it? So here hierarchical structures are being characterized by depth and breadth. So what do you mean by depth now? Depth is nothing but the number of choice levels you have. So suppose here you have level, you are at level 0, and next level 1. So suppose again if you click on Apple iPad 2, again suppose it shows one more menu list. Okay, then you are at a different level. So there is a level 0, level 1, level 2. So this is, you are going in depth. So that's called depth of choice levels. Again you have breadth. What do you mean by breadth? Breadth is nothing but the number of alternatives you find in each levels. So suppose here you understand that you are at level 0, but you have got an alternative here whether to choose laptops or you want to choose smartphones. So this is an alternative you have, or alternates that you have at this particular level. So that's called breadth. Is it? So in this way, if you are going level by level, if you are going, it's called depth. And breadth means that is between the choices whatever you have, certain alternatives you can say, it's called breadth. So common example of hierarchical design today are found in menu bars with their associated pull down pull down menus, and in websites you will be generally found with navigation links, these kind of hierarchical menus. So there are few advantages and also disadvantages. So let's see what are the disadvantages of going for hierarchical scheme. Suppose, say, user is not familiar with the hierarchical menu. What he may be doing? He may not be knowing what exactly the next next menu list may display. Okay, he may choose certain choice here, and he may go for further menu, and then again he will click on the next level menu list, and then further he may go on. Okay, so this is you can say you may be led to a right path, or sometimes it may lead to wrong paths also. So going in the hierarchical menus, if you're not experienced, okay, there are chances that you may be going through a wrong path in case of hierarchical menus. So going back to the previous menu, it may be again time consuming. You may not be knowing where is exactly the top level menu. Okay, you go on clicking the menus, and you may finally end up somewhere, and you may be forgotten where from where you have chosen that particular uh, particular choice. Okay, so let us see the how a hierarchical menu a diagram looks like. Okay, let's see in the next slide. See here you have got a hierarchical menu list. See, there is menu 1 at 0 level 0. So initial menu list, whatever it represents, that's in level 0. And next if you see menu 2, menu 3, menu 4, you have that all exist in level 1. So suppose you have their the product, and next in next menu you had, maybe you say smartphones, and then menu 3 was of laptops and tablets. Okay, and next you had services like this. Okay, so this that was at level 1, you can see. And next level, after clicking the particular level 1 menu, you may be going for level 2, again to level 3. So like this you go through the menus. So this is called, you can say, if you are going from menu 1, menu 3, menu 8, menu 13, that is you are going in depth of the menu. What do you mean by breadth? So now you have at level 1, you are given with choices to select menu 2 or menu 3 or menu 4. So this is the alternatives you have got at this particular level 1. So this is the breadth of the menu. You can say the breadth of the menu is 3, like this. So note that the top level of the tree is actually considered to be always level 0, with subsequent levels numbered sequentially beginning with number 1. Okay, level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, like this. It goes on. Starting at level 0, you say here you have two selections, or you can say that two selections, or you can say that here mouse clicks are needed to reach to level 2. Normally, how do you select the menus? You will be selecting menus using the mouse clicks. So double click or single click, and whatever it may be. The mouse clicks are required to reach to level 2. Next kind of menu, we have connected menus. Connected menus are network of menus of all interconnect menus that are interconnected in some manner. So you can see here menu 1 is connected to menu 2, and it's again connected to menu 4, and it's connected to menu 3 again. Back to menu 1, 3 is connected to back to menu 1. So this is how you can say that the menu is it's kind of network you have between the menus. From user's perspective, there is no top-down traversal of menu system. Okay, so if you consider here particularly, there is no top-down approach because it's connected in a random manner, and the connected menus may be cyclical or acyclical. What do you mean by cyclical here? The moment, for example, you say after menu 1, you have to choose menu 2 itself, if that is a condition. Okay, and after menu 2, you have to move to menu 4 only. So if there is a condition like that, then we call it as what you can say is acyclical menus, you can say acyclical. Okay, if there is a direction that you have to move. What do you mean by cyclical? Maybe you say after clicking menu 1, you can move in either direction, menu 2 or menu 3. Okay, you can move. There is no restriction in movement of between the menus. Okay, so then you can say that it is a cyclic menu. Okay, after menu 1, you can move either to menu 3 or menu 2. Or you say after reaching menu 3, you can move back to menu 1 or menu 4. So like this. So there is no restriction on direction. That's called cyclic. We call it as cyclic menus. So here, uh, the biggest advantage of this kind of menu list, or you say connected menu, is it gives full control over navigation flow. So you can move anywhere from one link to another link. Is it? So that is one of the advantage here. And but there is a disadvantage. Disadvantage is complexity. So as your number of menus are more, suppose here you have only 4, but if it is more than 4, 5, 6, okay, so then it may be difficult for the inexperienced users to remember all the menus, and it may confuse them. So that is one of the disadvantage in case of connected menus. Next one, you have event trapping menus. In case of event tracking menus, user can control the background tasks while working on the foreground. Okay, so here they are actually a set of simultaneous menus imposed on hierarchical menus, you can say. Here, event trapping menus generally serve one of the three functions. So let me tell the functions here. They may immediately change some parameter in current environment. Maybe you may be felt like you are going to see a bold piece of text. Okay, when you are working, you might have seen that. And next you have, they may take the user out of current environment to perform function without leaving the current environment. Okay, for example, when you're performing the spelling check, okay, so that is where you are not leaving the current environment. Okay, if the spellings will be checked, so the task will be performed as it is automatically. And next thing is, they may exist the current environment and allow the user to move to a totally new environment. Okay, that is also one more function it may be doing. User may have to leave the current environment and he may be introduced to a new environment in this case. So let us see an example here. The menus actually changes the content based upon the system state or an event existing at that moment. What is that meaning? It is changing the menus can also change the content based upon the system state or an event. For example, you have got an option on in Word, paste. Okay, so this particular menu will be working only if there is something to be pasted, or else it won't work. Is it? Okay, so that is the meaning here. And suppose you have a, for example, another example I give. Here you have a, in view, you may be given with certain options there. Show grid lines, some options, or a ruler, like this. Okay, in Word again. Okay, so grid lines means like this. Lines will be displayed um, on the screen. Is it? So here grid option will be again two options will be there. One is hide grid or show grid. So when it will show hide grid will be shown uh, if you're actually displaying the grid on the screen. So here, if it is already displaying the grid, then only you will get an option here in the menu list. You will be getting that hide grid option. If suppose the grid is not existing on the screen, okay, then you will be given with an option there to show the grid. Okay, that will be highlighted there. Okay, it may toggle based upon your system state. So depending upon whether or not a grid is displayed on the screen at that moment, this particular option will be, that is under view, you will be having hide grid or show grid. Okay, it may toggle based upon your uh, grid, whatever you display on the screen. Okay, so there will be certain restrictions when you are having event wrapping menus. Next one is, you have functions of menus. Functions are navigation to new menu, execute action or procedure, displaying information, and next you have data or parameter input. So let us see what is navigation to new menu. So this is one of the main function. Here actually, if you are saying navigating through the menu, so suppose if you have considered the hierarchical menu, you know how it is being displayed, hierarchical, one after the other. Is it hierarchical in nature? So here also you will be navigating from one menu to other menu. But what happens in this case, if you are led to the wrong paths while navigating, then it may waste your time simply, or it may do certain errors also. But the errors may not be maybe it may be destructive also, or sometimes it may be undoable also. Okay, so that is one of the function of menus, navigation of new menus. And next you have execute an action or procedure. So what kind of executions you may be doing or actions? Actions maybe like opening or closing the file, or copying the text to some other pages, or sending a message. So like this, many kind of actions you may be doing using these menus, is it? And this again, when you are saying the how you can perform the tasks is, you can go for hierarchical menu, or that is like a tree like structure. Okay, and you can traverse through so many menus under that. uh, so here also, accidental selection of certain menus may lead to irreversible actions. Okay, so that is one of the disadvantage here. And next you have displaying information. The main purpose of the selecting a menu choice may be to display certain information, or you generally user may be searching for certain specific information in a database, or he may be browsing the web. So here also, the finally our aim is to display the information. In many cases, you will be retrieving certain information through the hierarchical menu. Now again, if you're uh, what the displayed information, suppose if it is wrong, or wrong turns in selecting the menu list, may lead to again uh, time waste. Okay, or you can say the actions whatever you performed clicking the menus may be undoable. Okay, so you cannot do repeat the procedure again. Sometimes if your action is completed, then you cannot undo the tasks. Okay, and next you have data or parameter input. Each selection specifies a piece of input data for the system, or provides a parameter value. Uh, so here generally you'll be asked to enter certain data to the menu, or like a parameter input also it may be. And so here, while when you are clicking on the particular menu, suppose, okay, you have given with the menu list, and suppose if you are clicking on the menu, it is actually providing certain data to the system. Okay, after that means the menu is being connected with certain data behind. So selecting a particular piece of menu is like you are giving a input to your system, or actually it is like providing the parameter value to the system. That is, in background there may be certain codes, so codes running. Okay, so it's like giving an input to that input to the particular code that is being running behind. So selection errors may be corrected if it is detected by the system. It can be so errors may happen when while choosing the menus, is it? But if the system is recognizing the data whatever you have given as input is wrong, then uh, there can be corrective measures also inside the system, or sometimes it may lead to again destructive event.